Hi viewers, let's start today's analysis. I think again a fantastic day for the markets, just because of two, three reasons. First is the FI buying, which is taking the market upward. So actually there is no seller in the market, and that's why you see a lot of momentum when the market is going upwards. Second more important thing is that we have closed about 25,000 or near 25,000, which is psychologically good because we have tried to hit above 25,000 5 to 6 times, but we were not able to close above it. This time the market was showing strength and we closed above it. Third reason is the dollar index, which is now trading below 99, which is again a good news for the emerging markets. And we are seeing that the money is outflowing from the America US economy and towards emerging markets. And as I told last videos also, that will continue to be the same feature now in some at least for a few quarters. So that's again a good news. The earnings have been not good, not bad. I think pretty okay. It's just that better than expectations, but still it is now Nifty. I think 48 companies have given the results, and we are seeing around 5 to 6% earnings growth, and for the entire year of 25, it's around 9% earnings growth. So it is less than 12% expected. So FY25 we can say has been a slight dampener in terms of earnings. We have expected some cuts into the earnings rather than an upgrade. Now for FY26, which is the market discounting now, there also the consensus is 14%. But the problem is that nothing in the economy happens very fast. This is a slow process. So if the earnings growth have been 5 to 6%, or let's say 8 to 9% for this quarter, it is very difficult for FY26 to suddenly clock 14% until unless we uh, have a very higher quantum of growth. But the advantage which will actually be playing out is the lower base. So now the Q1 which is coming up, we will be having a lower base because last year there was Lok Sabha elections and we had Achar Sanhita and all those things where the money flow was not happening, business was not happening. Then we had very high level monsoons. Then we have very hot summers. Then we had very high monsoons and all those things. So we have a lower base. So with that advantage, I think we can still clock 14%, 15% annual growth, which the consensus market is showing. And don't forget the macros are too good that we have given the tax cuts of 1 lakh crore. Then we have interest rates going down. Then we have inflation very, very benign and all those things. So these all macros will keep on helping us. And I think we will be able to clock around 14% earnings growth. And rupee is showing some kind of stability, which means that FI flows will remain intact, and that will eventually save the markets from going downwards a lot, which means that uh, even if we take so as of now, I think the Nifty earnings or Nifty EPS is around 1109. So let's say 1110, let's say the round figure. Now, if you take a 15% FY26 earnings growth, and if you multiply by P multiple around 22, then I think you'll get a figure of around 27,800 or so. So that is the level which I think in this financial year, which means FY26, which is up to March 2026, it is expected the fair value of Nifty should be around 27,800. So market will eventually move towards that. Now, will it move in a straight path? The answer is no. But quarter on quarter, I think the market will strive towards it, which means that in this financial year or this calendar year itself, the markets are poised to cross the all-time highs, previous highs of 26 to 77 or whatever we call that. That should be crossed, and eventually, this financial year we should close around 27,800 or so. If everything goes well, which I think it is going well, that should be the number. Now, US is also helping us to create a Tina factor, which means there is no alternative. Because on Friday after our market close, I think Trump gave a news that he wants to impose 25% tariffs on European Union. Then I think he told some talks have happened between some leaders have called them, and now he has dropped or probably postponed that increase of tariffs to 9th of July from the initially declared date of 1st June. So these kind of flip flops will keep on happening from Mr. Trump, which means that confidence will continue to go down from US, and which is fairly reflecting in the dollar index and the way the money is outflowing from the US economy and moving towards a emerging markets. That trend will actually continue because people have lost faith in Mr. Trump. Now, whatever he does, I don't think the faith is going to come back very soon, which means that money will be flowing to the emerging markets and India having its own, you know, advantages. I think money will equally flow into the Indian markets as well. We've become the fourth largest economy now, so we've crossed Japan, which means now US, China, and Germany are the only three countries which are above us in terms of GDP, which is again a moment to be proud of because this is something which we cherish that we are the now fourth largest economy in the world. I think within 2 to 3 years, that is what the CEO of Nifty was told us. I think within 3 years we should be able to cross Germany as well, and then we have a larger leap to cross because uh, we are around $4 trillion economy as of now. So even if we cross Germany, let's say when we become $5 trillion, let's say in 2 to 3 years, which means that China, which is sitting at $19 trillion, and US, which is sitting at $30 trillion, so the gap is massive. And if we grow at 6.5 GDP growth, real term GDP growth, then I think it's almost impossible to cross these economies at least in the next 30 years. Let's see how it goes, how the world shapes up, and how things unfold for the time to come. Other than that, I think we are seeing some buoyant buying from the FIs. Although FIs are playing games in this, one day they are selling off, one day they're not selling off. Now tomorrow's expiry, tomorrow's a sensitive expiry, and I think if I'm not wrong, it will be a monthly expiry tomorrow, which means that you will expect a lot of volatility tomorrow. And the only negative which is for Indian markets is that the FIs, even when they are buying, they have not covered their shorts. So today's buying, probably you can think that we had a high of around 25,100 or so, which we made last week. So they were long in that direction. Probably they would have covered some longs today. I don't know. I have to see the data, but I think the markets have trend higher, and if they want to really cover their shorts by taking the market down, then I think they would have trimmed their long positions today. Even that should be the overall strategy. And if they want to drag the market down to cover their short, which means the market in next 2-3 days should go down so that the short covering happens at a lower rate and they don't occur losses. That's one theory. So tomorrow would be a day of test of that. Tomorrow is an expiry. And if the markets go down, then probably we'll expect on Thursday also same kind of volatility, and we'll expect that the markets should go down. Wednesday can be a sandwich day where they can again take the market upwards for trimming their long. So they play that rule. Or if this does not happen, then the second thing is now the June Nifty calls are actually trading very low. The average calls value is actually lower, which means I think they are carried over. They are carrying their shorts to the next month, which means that this month can close at a high. If that happens, the Nifty I think should cross 21, 25, 100, eventually 200 also, and we might even go to 25, 500, which was my best, which was my base level base case, which I told on Friday. That might happen. But the kind of volatility FIs are creating, it's very difficult to anticipate that. So, if my theory 1 works, then the market should go down for next 2-3 days. But if my second theory works, then I think the market should go up, and we will see a higher closing, or it's probably this series will close at a high. How will we come to know? Tomorrow we'll come to know absolutely on that. See, today's the European markets and the American markets are closed, which means there are no triggers for tomorrow, which means we react only on our own numbers, or let's say on our news or whatever it is. Now it will be purely expiry driven trade, nothing else, because there is no news, there is no event. Earnings have also gone, as I told, 48 companies have already given the results. I think Bajaj Auto and one more company is probably left in Nifty to declare the result, which are small companies, which means that probably see if I have to go on my guts, then I would assume that the market should come down to cover the shorts. Not everything should be left out of the next series. This is what I find. Generally, don't do it. And don't forget their net short. And so it serves their two purposes. First, you are able to book your profits because the market is on the higher spectrum of the valuations. And you are able to take the market, drag the market downwards, which actually allows you to trim there, cover your shorts also. So both thing happens, which is both in a way is a win-win for FI. So I would assume that the base case one should happen, and we should see a very big volatility tomorrow, uh, if my theory is right. So we'll see tomorrow what it happens, and eventually again we'll speak in the evening, or let's say discuss in the evening. But according to me, this case looks more, uh, chances or probabilities higher for this. If at all they want to carry their shots for the next series and they want to cover the shots next month only, if at all they want to cover, then we'll see a higher highs of this series, and probably we may close 25 200 plus 28 300 in that range of one time we may touch 25 500 also. There's absolutely there's a chance of doing that. So let's wait and see how it goes. Other than FIs and these things, there's nothing to discuss much. Our dynamics are all looking good. RBI has given us a dividend of around 2.7 lakh crore, which is around 20,000 crores more what the government is anticipating in the budget. It's around 27% higher than the last year's budget, and we are the fourth largest economy now. Everything is working for us. There's nothing. Auto tariffs have been like the European tariffs have been deferred. So Nifty Auto was doing very good today, and we are seeing monsoons have actually came 8 days earlier in Kerala. It has hit them on 24th May, which is 8 days earlier. We are actually seeing incessant rains in Bombay, which means if at all we have to believe, although there are some cyclones also going on in Bombay, but if we have to believe that the early monsoon have come, which means that Bombay has also started getting their showers out of monsoons. So monsoons have come early. That is good thing again for the rural economy as such, and it should drive the auto companies moving forwards. So actually, there is no negative. As I was lucky that this market was negative, frankly speaking, except for only one thing that the FIs have a lot of short positions. In the rally, they are not covering their shorts. They are buying, they're adding some longs, and they are, when the market is rallying up, they are buying less. The market is coming down, they're selling more. And the reason is very simple, because if India, you have to drag the market downwards, you have to sell much, much more, because you have buyers. India, you have only buyers, you don't have sellers. That's the problem. So that's why if you have to sell and then you take the markets down, the figure has to be very big. So tomorrow, please be watchful. If at all you get a some kind of a bounce back tomorrow, or let's say pre-open or initial 15 minutes, if you see some kind of gap up or higher values, it will actually be prudent. It will be better that you took some profits tomorrow. That will not at all be a bad strategy, and then wait for dips or just see how the markets are behaving. My feeling is that you might see a dip, but yes, there has to be a reason, because so COVID cases are rising. There's not a news out of it, but still markets can take any reason for profits. So tomorrow's day will be action-packed day. I am not expecting a writer's market tomorrow. If it happens, it will be a surprise to me. And the reason why I'm saying is the VIX. That is another negative which was happening for the Indian market. The VIX was around 4 to 5% higher today. It was above 18, which means a lot of options trades are being taken. So the markets, probably the FNO data is showing a different story, but there's a lot of gain happening in the options market. That is why we have to be very careful tomorrow whether because we don't know, the data does not come out. What actually FIs have done? Have they done put short? Have they done call short? Have they put buyers, call buyers? It's very difficult to find out at what levels, what strike price, and how much buying, selling they have done. It's very difficult to find out those numbers. And according to me, a lot of activities happened in the options market because the VIX was very high today, which means that they will try to gain from the options market more rather than from the futures market and the cash market. Cash to cash, anyways, they don't bother at all, even if they incur a loss of 3,000 crores, 4,000 crores. Because if you are playing in the direction of derivatives, you get 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more profit. So cash to anyways, they will not bother at all. You might see a sell figure in cash, but you will see the derivative markets going up, Nifty still going up. Those are all possible things. So don't tomorrow's cash market is not important at all. Derivative market also might not be enough for tomorrow because of the options activity. So tomorrow's market will be very tough to actually anticipate. And I'll also be very, I mean, I'm very excited to see what happens tomorrow because of lot of action in the options market, as well as lot of shorts with the FI. They're still net short, don't forget. So combined these two things, have been entering into a last 3 days of a derivatives market. Let's see how it goes. But my feeling would be that tomorrow we might see some kind of profit booking and some kind of a drag yesterday. If that happens, again, it will be a buying opportunity. Don't forget now for this calendar year, we're looking at 27,800 kind of levels, which means that even if you do a mistake, the markets will eventually take you out. So it's that you have to wait for a little while. That's all. Your money gets blocked, but you will get a chance to come out of your positions eventually. So nothing to worry, even if you are getting stuck on the wrong side. But my advice would be that to let tomorrow's day be very watchful. And if you are sitting on profits, please book it. That's my advice. To follow it or not, it's entirely up to you. I've given you the analysis, I've given you the feeling how exactly things are looking out. Let's see what happens tomorrow, but it'll be a very exciting day. Either tomorrow or Thursday, I don't know. But my feeling is that Sensex expiry nowadays plays a more important part rather than Nifty expiry, because Sensex has a more option driven activity. The reason is because the base is much higher. We are at 84,000, 85,000 Sensex levels, which give you a chance of the number of points are much higher, so you gain a lot. So I'm not surprised the way the option market have behaved today. We might see some big trends tomorrow. Upside or downside, you have to wait and watch. My feeling would be downside, but let's see what happens tomorrow. So with this, I'll end my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you would have liked it. Thanks so much.